all of now wey dey always dey rush go build house for Nigeria. Like when I just enter UK 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months. When I don dey rush go back to Nigeria go build house. When I would collect extra shift like wetin I no know why. Like I just want to know the motive behind that. Please let me know in the comment section. Because you dey live for shared apartment for year, but you dey pump money for house. When you say you no go stay there in the next 5 years, 10 years, you know they go, but you are pumping money there. But you are suffering. I want to know in the comment section, please. Thank you.
Is it more important to have a house in the UK first before having a house in Nigeria?
You need to have your life in a certain pattern before you can worry about somewhere else. I cannot be here while I'm trying to pattern myself. I'm also worrying about there. One at a time.
Let's say you're renting right now, but you've managed to save up enough money that either you can buy a house in the UK or buy a house in Nigeria. If you buy the house in Nigeria, you're still going to be comfortable the way you are, but you're just renting here. Which one would you buy with that money?
I don't know if I would buy a house in Nigeria. Reason being, I'm not just going to buy a house just to leave a house that I'm not living in. I'd rather hold on to my money. And when I decide to go there, I'm temporary. I can afford to stay in a hotel for like a week or 2 weeks and go about my business. But I'm not going to go and invest to have an empty house that no one's living in.
There's companies that you can actually get now because you're thinking like Africa's not a bush like that.
No,
There's companies who can manage your property for you. They put on Airbnb while you're not around. And when you do go back, you actually have a place to stay rather than staying in hotels. And when you think about Nigeria, Ghana, a lot of these countries, they're coming up heavy. One thing I'm more particularly impressed by is the amount of young people that were even born here, bro, that are going back home, especially Ghana, doing business.
But there's a small minority of people that are going back there and going to do stuff. A lot of people now are just purely going there for fun.
Yes, maybe the first thing that enticed you to go is like, oh, there's this big event going on out there. Even if 100,000 young people go there to party and 10% of them starts to look into doing something, that's a plus. Rome wasn't built overnight. That's how I look at it.
House in the UK first before having a house in Nigeria.
You need to have your life in a certain pattern before.
I needed to contribute my 2 cents on this as an immigrant living in the Netherlands, born and raised in Kenya. A lot of Kenyans have houses back home. Majority of the houses are renting, be an Airbnb, long-term rentals, and they're generating income. So to hear some of our brothers think the way this guy thinks, for me, it's funny because at the end of the day, unless you are living in the UK forever, and that's like your home, I don't get to understand why as an African you wouldn't want to have a home in your home country. Like for me and my friends, we always say we are economic immigrants. We are here for the money. We are here for the money. We make the money, invest back home, and when the time comes, we go back home. And that's the majority of Kenyans, majority of the people in my circle, that's what they think. It doesn't mean you have to build a house like your house for living. Most of them are buying apartments and they're renting them out. Most of them, if they buy a house and then they rent it out to certain contracts of years, let's say 5 years, 3 years, depending on how they project themselves going back. And to any African, I think this is for me, even for me, that's what I'll do. If I have money, I'm gonna buy an apartment, put it on Airbnb, somebody will manage it for me, and then when I go back home, I don't have to rent a hotel, I have a home. I'm not a tourist in my own country. So I don't know how other people feel in the comments. You can let us know as an immigrant. Do you prefer buying a home back in Africa or here? And if you're in position, of course, you can buy both. But what's your priority? But for me, if I have money, I feel like my priority will be Kenya. Why? Because it's cheaper to buy a house there. And then I get some money in return because I rent it out or, put it somewhere as a property to be managed and then get some level of income, cash flow. Because this other side of the world is very expensive to buy a house, take you a couple of years. So that's my approach. So I want to know what you guys think in the comments. Please, let's converse because this is something that really affects us as immigrants and as Africans and anybody from any other country. So looking forward to hearing your comments, guys. Bye.
Listen, buy a house here in America before building mansion in your own country. Listen, owning a house in America is like living a rent-free. The money you are using to pay mortgage is actually your money technically if you decide to sell that house tomorrow. Stop paying someone else's mortgage in the name of paying house rent. That is a financial disaster. Listen, seek ye the American dream first, and every other thing shall be added unto you. Stop making your life difficult. You're actually the one making your life difficult. You cannot live in America and live in somewhere else. How can you take all your paycheck to go and build a mansion somewhere that you barely stay 2 weeks in every year? Sometimes you don't even travel to that place for 5 years. It's a financial mistake. You get the point. I'm not telling you not to invest in your home country, but what I'm saying is you need to plan yourself. Get a stable source of income first before taking all your income to go and invest somewhere else. It's a financial disaster. You get the point now. Owning a house in America will help you save more. You can actually take a loan from that house to go and build whatever house you want to go and build in your country if you have a house here. You all don't know that buying a house here in America is actually more cheaper, more easier than owning a house from whatever country you are coming from. Stop making your life difficult. Some of the houses that you buy here is the down payment is not even up to $5,000. Some of them. You can actually buy 2-family house and you put a tenant there. The tenant will be the one paying your mortgage while you are living rent free. You have to be smart. You have to be smart. I'm telling you. You get the point now. Live in America first before forcing yourself to live somewhere else. Because some of you live in America, but mentally, psychologically, you are living somewhere else. How can you going to be focused if your mind is not together? You get the point now. Don't make that mistake again. Establish yourself here first before going somewhere else.
You see, one thing I never understood is why all African dads have a mansion being built back home. I don't know about other ethnicities, Caribbeans, Asians, Eastern Europeans, but if there's one thing I can tell you, it's that every African uncle I know has a house that's been getting built for the past like 10, 15 years back home. Every African person that I know, that I encounter, will tell me, oh, my dad's building a big mansion, it's gonna have 3,000 bedrooms, a pool, this, that. Well, now I'm asking guys, oh, let me see a picture of this mansion, let me see a picture of the work in progress. No one can rise anything. But the worst part is, I'd be lying if I said I'm not the exact same. I remember I must have went to Niger a couple years ago and I seen the land that my dad's meant to be building his mansion on. I saw some of the bricks that my uncle had started laying for his house. But this was like a good 5 years ago and no mansions have been built till this day. And then every now and then you'll hear your dad on a phone to someone back in Africa talking about, oh, the land's been stolen, someone didn't do the work that they were paid for. And your dad will just be fighting for his life on that call, bro. Like, you've never heard screams that loud. And I just want to know why this is such a common phenomenon.
How's that house back home coming along? The one that your parents have been building for like your whole life. What's going on with it? What's his Still need peace for it. Parents still on the phone going ballistic. I hear it, man.